I can tell you, no, your snakes are probably developed a level of being dumb because you have taught them nothing. You have not allowed them to learn a darn thing in your care. Hello to you. Yes, Lily again, but this video is actually I'm doing it for somebody who I've got to know a little bit. So Vesna, this is for you. Now recently Vesna copped a lot of trouble from a few individuals, and yes, on that ghastly group stuff, groups about snakes, carpet pythons. I don't know. I don't know the group. I just know it's to do with snakes, and whether it be with carpet pythons, I don't know either. But the subject was with a diamond python. I guess she was discussing who she has trained to be happy to come out and climb on her arm to proceed out of the enclosure, and was told that that's a load of you know what, and that the snake had no alternative but to do it. Also, in coming out of their enclosure, it is caused by opening the door and then getting a gust of air in their face with different smells, and yes, and so naturally they wish to come out. Well, that is just so untrue, to be perfectly honest, because I've seen plenty of snakes that open the door and they don't come out and don't want to come out and just not willing to come out, and not necessarily because they're shy or fearful or anything. They just aren't interested so much in coming out, and have been taught that it is safe to come out by having brought them out a few times and letting them get used to the place around them. Then they've quite willingly come out, and nothing to do with the gust of any air being thrust in their face, which right now Lily's door is closed. There's no air blowing in her face to tell her to be curious about what smell she's smelling. Her door is closed. Now, yep, I do not force Lily to come on out to me, personally, to me, like, ooh, you must go via my arm. But even so, if I chose to do it that way, I know that willy-nilly Lily would be happy to come out on my arm. It's not forcing her, it's not making her, and it is not the direction that she always chooses to go. Sometimes it is exactly the direction she chooses to go. It's straight over to me, and then she wanders off and does her own thing outside of the enclosure, which is up into her hangout area, and she hangs out up there and she does her thing. But to tell somebody that they've made their snake do that, can't it be seen as they've trained their snake to do that as well? we can train our snakes to do so many things, and it's not because they don't like doing it. It's because, man, they are more than happy to do it. They are more than willing to do it. And in actual fact, I see many snakes seeking that out. They are the ones that ultimately come to us. Now, Lily, quite often, she'll do this for a little while. Yep. And then she'll make her way over to me and put her head in my lap and say her kind of little hello as Lily does, but that doesn't happen all of the time. But it does happen. And I've many a video where you can really see that that's exactly what she does. I mean, sometimes she's so excited for me to finally open that door that she will literally jump onto my hand before I've even had a chance to get my hand away, you could say. But it's not forced. She's not been trained, per se, to do anything. I've just let Lily continually make her own choices around this house. And, you know, she's not afraid of me. She's not concerned about me. And in actual fact, she becomes, to some degree, quite reliant on me and what I do with her. She expects me to help her up when she decides to go up, because she's not capable of doing that all by herself. But she just tends to go, hey, come on, Mum, give me a bit of a boost up here and help me to get a grip on something, and away she will go. But that's not because I've trained her to do that. That's just something between her and me, and the way it is and how things go between us two. We know each other, and I'm tired of people criticising other people for the things that they have learned and seen. Don't you read any of the studies that are going on? Have you not read anything, or are you just watching YouTube channels and because most people do this, then that's the way it's got to. And I'm telling you, 90% of people do what they do. The 10% of us who actually do this and see our snakes as intelligent and having a brain, I can tell you, no, your snakes are probably developed a level of being dumb because you have taught them nothing. You have not allowed them to learn a darn thing in your care. You know, you continually, I hear instincts, they run on instincts, they're instinctual. Do you know that, how long have we been breeding snakes? Or having snakes in captivity? 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years or more. And when you get down the lines, say for example, Lily's parents were born in captivity. Her parents were born in captivity, and so on and so on and so on. So we have generations of captive, kept and bred snakes in our care. And if you think about that in their life, wow, instincts? What instincts? What instincts are there? Oh, somebody puts a bowl in my environment and they fill it for water, and I know where it is, and it's always there, and it's always nice and fresh, and it should be. If it's not, then freshen their water more often. Oh, and I actually get my food handed to me onto silver tongs. Wow. And then a lot of snakes, if you've taken any notice of, don't even strike and bite. They're just happy to take it off the ground, gently take it, whatever. Natural instincts. Natural instinct might be to climb, but you haven't got any branches in there for them to climb anyway. So, boo-hoo, snake, your natural instinct might be to climb, but you ain't getting any, because all you need is a water bowl, and that's it. Oh, let's not forget, yes, they need heat. They need to thermal regulate, so you need that gradient in your enclosure or tub or whatever you keep your snake in. But man, you pick on people who are open and seeing and trying to find out more and more about their snakes, rather than looking at them and saying you're dumb. Look at the anatomy of a snake, people, okay? That's what was said. They don't have a brain to be able to think. People said they don't have ears, so they're not able to hear too. But you were wrong. Well, you're wrong about this too. Now, if you have a snake that you just see as dumb, non-thinking, instinctual, and yet I know the environment you're keeping them is not instinctual to them. It is the complete opposite. The snake that you've probably had has been captive bred multiple generations and wouldn't have a clue what the wild is, what the wild isn't, to be instinctual anymore. They have an instinct to be fearful of us, and why wouldn't they be? We are big, we are foreign to them, we are, yeah, and that's about it. They're fearful of us for that particular reason, and not instinctually necessarily fearful of us, though there are a lot of people out there that they need to fear, and that is the dumb owners that think that their snakes are dumb. Well, I'm telling you, the people who have those snakes are dumber than their snakes. And I do pity those poor snakes. Narrow-minded individuals who just pick. Do you know what? Get up off your lazy butts. Take notice of your snake. Oh, but if you do, you may have to acknowledge it. If you do, you may have to do more for your snake. Wow. Then you can't be lazy and be sitting on your butt just looking at this snake, feeding this snake and saying, aren't you pretty, and I'm going to make some beautiful babies out of you. Yeah. That's about it, isn't it? Well, I'm not just talking about carpet pythons. I'm talking about all species of snakes. One comment was about, yeah, well, you tell that to my water python that blah, 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 kill me, blah, blah, bites the crap out of me. Yes, water pythons are known to be a little bit of cranky buggers. Absolutely they are. But I've also met a couple of water pythons that actually are as sweet as. And why? Because the person who's got them put in the time and the effort and understood them of what they liked and what they didn't like, and acknowledged it and worked with them. So you're wrong. Might be wanting to bite you all the time because you treat it like a dumb pile of skin and bone and nothing more. Anyway, that's off my chest today, and I needed to say this because I hear about it all of the time and I never say anything about it as such. I do a little bit more nicey nice, but not today. So from my stupid butthead snake Lily, who doesn't know a goddamn thing about nothing in this house, do you, Lil? Hey, you don't know nothing. Well, you know that I'm touching you, and she's not running away. She's not trying to get away from me. She's, she's not tensing up. She's not really doing much of anything except, oh, are you going to lift me up now? Because that's the general key. Something, yes, she's learnt. Because she's smart. And in actual fact, she's trained me. I haven't trained her. So from Lily and myself, I want to thank everybody for watching. And I know many of you know this about snakes. And you don't even have snakes. But you can already open your mind up by understanding that that is how they are. And I try to show this all of the time and talk about it all of the time because it's real and it's truth and it's facts and I see it. So you all take care, or you take care. Talk to you again soon. Ciao.